Hi. My name is Wanda. I'm going to channel for you. That means I allow love energy to pass through me and it turns into a message for humans consumption, I guess you'd say. So tonight we have a group of people around who are representing mankind. I don't know whether they know that or not, but so we'll just see what happens. It's kind of unpredictable a little bit. You'll notice the energy comes into me and it passes out at the end. And welcome. Press subscribe on YouTube. Okay, so you can start playing the bell. This is a lovely shared vibration given by a human who is sensitive and curious about energy and how it works. So as this human has stepped forth to make themselves vulnerable to others, because the energy of the human goes into the notes and around and around. So truly the bell ringer, we would call it, is actually being healed as they move their hand around and around the surface of the singing bowl. Now, because you are aware of this energy moving around the bowl, we wonder if you would like to begin this discussion in a way that speaks of energy moving out of you for healing and being healed and coming back into you. Are you able to speak of this?
I can. I'm not sure exactly what to speak what I'm doing with the bowl.
Do you believe that you are able to allow energy that is within you, that is perhaps dark or dreary or heavy? Do you believe that energy that is stuck within you may be moved outside of you, cleaned and put back into you, so you yourself feel energetically changed?
Yes, and not just with the singing bowls. I find that with many instruments.
Yes. So you are using these instruments for healing, you understand?
Yes.
So you are understanding that parts of you are needing to be healed.
Yes.
That is the first acknowledgement. So you are showing up in any way you can to say, I feel unwell somewhere inside of me and I wish to be healed, universe. Do whatever you want. Show me whatever way is easiest for me. Show me the way to heal. So you are showing up as a human being that wishes to be healed and is acknowledging that there's a part of you sometimes unwell. This is monumental, believe it or not, because there are many humans who believe, they turn a blind eye to inner illness or blockages and think it's fine. I'm like the other humans. We're all getting along. Don't worry about it. I'm just going from day to day and I'll be all right. Never acknowledging that within human, energy gets stuck. So you are not average. You are stupendous. You are wondrous because you have noticed, yes, I understand that I am energy, firstly. And I understand sometimes that energy gets blocked within me. And perhaps when it gets blocked, I react emotionally to the blockage. And usually that's in an angry or sad way, because that's the way I prefer to react to blocked energy. That's the way I wish to handle it. So first you're acknowledging your energy, then you're acknowledging something's awry, but you're also acknowledging perhaps that you caused the blockages. What do you think of this?
It's all very true.
So again, most humans don't wish to acknowledge this. So there are many things you are acknowledging that the general population do not. So since you acknowledge energy that is blocked and create emotions within you, and since you often create the blockages yourself, that means that you are ready and fit to be healed every moment because you let go of it, because you acknowledge it. The ignoring of it and the disbelief of it causes it to grow and stay within humans. So you yourself will be healed many, many times because you are acknowledging that there's something stuck within you and it is making you feel unwell emotionally. For you, react emotionally to physical ailments or physical blockages. You may feel your energy through emotions, not just your own blockages or your own negative energy, but others. So you yourself are very sensitive to energy. As you come to understand all of this, you really understand it already. We're just putting it forth in other words so that you may again acknowledge it publicly that this is true, this is true. Therefore, now that you know this to be true, you may share this with others when it's their time. When there's another human who sees you one moment angry, sad, painful, clenched up, and several moments later, skipping along carefree, they will ask you, what is it you have done? Have you done something? And you'll say, of course, I haven't done anything. I've actually done nothing. And that's how it goes. When you let it go, it flows through you. When you hold on to it, you keep it tight. So this is now a message that some humans will start to ask you because they'll notice you look different. You look calmer, you look easy. Why aren't you angry or sad or pulling your hair out? Why? What's happened that's so wonderful for you? So that is the opening for you to share your experience with love energy, the healing of love energy. This is an open door for you. How do you feel about being the spokesman for the universe to those who ask about it?
It feels odd, but I don't know. I guess it would just take a moment by moment and see what it gets expressed and shared with each individual person.
Yes.
Right? Yes. So.
But soon, as you get well, and we're going to say that you are learning quite quickly how to allow the illnesses and negativity to pass through very quickly, people will start to notice and you will look physically different. So they will start asking you.
There has been some people noticing recently and asking me what I'm doing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What about saying nothing? What about not saying nothing? Say I'm doing nothing. I'm being complete. I'm being whole. I'm being light as air. I'm being pure energy. That will really dumbfound them. And that's a funny sort of thing to do to humans because they'll shake their head and they'll say, she's squirrely. She's gone. She's gone somewhere and she's not coming back. But there's a part of them that understands what you're saying. So when a human asks a question, they already know the answer. The answer lies within them, or they don't ask the question. So when they ask you, what are you doing? Why do you look peaceful? They already know what they need to be peaceful themselves. So you can recall this as well. You're truly just a mirror of what's going on with different humans, and they will be drawn to you. Different humans drawn to you for different things, but they will always be asking a question that they can answer themselves. So really, you can say nothing, and you already know, but they don't like those smart answers like that. How is that for you?
I don't know. I don't know if nothing would be the right thing to say, in my opinion, but I guess we'll see how it goes because it's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of learning, basically, to do nothing. So there's a process to it.
What we say is that you already know how to be easy. It's the way you're born. It's the way you are when you're not inhuman. But humans make it seem as if it's a big, difficult chore and you must take a class and read a book about it. But it's your natural state to sit in ease, sit in allowing of energy to move through you. It's your natural state. You don't have to learn how to do it. You are this.
Mhm.
Is that good for you?
Yes, thank you.
Let's just do namaste together.
Sure.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Are there others who wish to speak?
Hi, Erin. It's Teresa here. My first time with you all. Thank you for having me. Tuning in, just what I was, the only thing that really rose is if you have anything you can share on the nature of time. And I think it's about our perspective. Like if everything is light and if sound creates the vibration that makes changes, I'm just wondering how all that might interweave with our notions of time, whether it's true perennial time or just say my own personal experience as time is this being sitting in front of you now. I'm not sure if that's a question, but it's maybe as close as I can come right now.
Yes, it is something that you have observed within yourself, and there is a deeper knowing again with this information that you already know the answer to this. But we will bring this forth in a manner that presents it in a way that's understandable. So this word that you use, time, is a man-made notion to get hold of the ruling of mankind. It is an old notion where you had to decide how to control one another. This is how this began, this very word. So you are deciding, not you, because it was a long time ago. A long time ago, they sat down, a group of them, and said, we must learn how to control others so that they will be where we wish, and we will say this will be then, and that will be that. We'll plan this and plan that and plan this. So in a way, it was, we're going to say humans manipulating one another, human domination. Those are words, human words to use, but we will throw them into this pot because the intentions were not always spiritual. They were not coming from a higher place. So these very words were the beginning of man controlling man through time. So when it started, it steamrolled. So then you would go from this notion of we will all decide a time, and we'll say that the sun is there, and we will be here at this place and this time, and all of this. And then it got bigger and bigger because it spread throughout the earth. So now there's all over the earth, and everyone has to decide together. So this is not done through prayer or spiritual awareness. This is done by man making decisions for other men. So that's the basis of this word. This word was presented by men, not heavenly humans who are trying to bring order to chaos that they decided was chaos on the earth. That's the word. Now, as far as energy goes, there's no time. And you are timeless, and the energy of the world is timeless, and the universe of love is timeless. So this word doesn't truly apply. But when you use it, you don't go crazy. And what we mean is, when you think of time overlapping and nothing means anything, and you're over here and then you're here, and you can throw vibrations forward and backward through time. When you think of all that, you have difficulty staying in your human life, in your human body, and this human experience. So it's kept small, so you don't blow your minds. So you all decide together, okay, let's follow this time thing so we don't all blow our minds. All right, so now you all agree to it. I'll use that and you use this and all of this. But then there comes a time with there's something inside of you that says, that's not correct. There's something not right about this word. It's trying to box me in to this time and this place. And you know that you're an eternal being. So this is the part of you that's causing the discord. You know you're eternal, and yet there's this word. And all the humans agree on this word, so it must be real. And yet it's not. But it is, but it isn't, but it is, but it isn't. This is your discord. So setting all of that aside, and this can be put in many different notions of mankind can be replaced by this word. You can put anything in there and it doesn't fit with you. There's something about you that says that's not correct either. Now it's time for you to go within and contact your highest energetic beings that you have access to, the universe of love, universal intelligence, whatever it is that you feel you can trust and feels like home to you, something that feels familiar to you, a knowing that you have. And you sit inside there, sitting by yourself, and say, is there such a thing as time? And see what you hear. This will be truth for you. This will be truth for you. Not what mankind has said and decided upon much times ago to keep the world from being in chaos. So now you're of a time and place, and this discussion proves it, where you now are able to disagree with mankind in a very respectful, kind way, and check in yourself for your highest truth. So we don't exactly answer your question in the way that you have worded it, but we have rephrased it in the way that it is meant. The highest meaning of this. It was done with the intention to stop chaos, but there's something about it that's just not right. And that you know. Something inside of you that knows truth, and it can detect something that's off track. Something's not quite right about that, but I don't know what. And this is your highest, lifelong, eternal self that you are hearing. That's not really right, because I was alive a long time ago and I threw this energy forward and all of this. So there's part of you that knows it's not, because you've been an eternal being. So you can't categorize these times and phrases. But you also understand that it must be held so that the world does not turn into chaos again. So it's a part of you that understands this is a game we're all playing. We're all going to play by this set of rules here. We'll all agree to that. But we know in our heart of hearts, if we have access to it, the truth of the matter. And since you have brought this forth, you already know the truth of the matter. Is that understandable?
Yes, I do understand that. Thank you, Erin.
Will you do namaste? Namaste.
Good evening, Erin. If I could pick up on the point you've made there. So I'm understanding what you described as time being I'll call it a scheduling tool to coordinate activities amongst humans.
Yes.
Is that different from time being the movement of energy or change from one moment to the next, which would indicate some linear progression of something happening?
So we will agree with the first part, and the second part, we will pick this apart, because you are speaking of what you're really getting at is, is life predictable? Is energy moving me in a certain direction all of the time? Am I?
If I can interrupt, not quite. Where I'm going with that is they say everything is a statement that everything happens in the now, so that there's no sense of time. What happened in the past and past lives, let's say, are existing simultaneously as time, as this experience right now. It's just a different frequency, if you will, like on a radio station. That's one way, one analogy of thinking about it. So there's two different signals, but they're both happening concurrently, but you're only tuned in to perceive one of them at a time.
So
is that accurate?
You've got several philosophies all being mingled into one. So we will discuss with you energy and time. Well, this is what you're getting at. You want to know if energy can be seen, calculated, or predicted. This is what we're getting at. There's a part of you that wants to harness energy through time. Do you understand this?
Okay.
So what is really, let's just see how to explain this exactly. So energy has no interest in time, and there is no time involved with energy. Energy just is. And this is where you've got the idea of living by the moment. The energy's here this moment, but the energy's before and after, because energy is eternal. So energy will not be contained by any manner, any human manner at all. It will always be moving. So the little slice that is your moment, which is what you're truly getting at, the little slice that you have at this moment is all you know about, because you don't know where the energy is going to go. You don't know where it's been or where it's going to go. So truly this moment and this slice of energy or time is what you can monitor. So you like to monitor and dissect and devise as much as possible, because your brain is very active in this way. It likes to have things predictable. So if you have anything predictable, that yes, this moment, the energy as it is, but now the energy is different than it was a moment ago when you asked the question, and now it's different again. So the energy is always changing. So when you say only this moment is all you have, this is absolutely true. Time will never be contained on any device or any way of human thinking that you have. So no matter what, you will not capture time and put it in, capture energy and put it into time. No, this is impossible. This will not be, for time is eternal. This moment is eternal. Now, when you speak of time, you are speaking of it in a different manner than we have discussed a moment ago. You are speaking of time as if you may predict or pull a certain moment and it has not changed, even in the past. Now, you would think a moment that has passed must stay the same, but it doesn't. Or it interacts with other energy. Now, this you can get your head around a little bit. Energy, even past, and time, even past, has disappeared, dissipated. It no longer exists, and it cannot be captured. It's the same with the future. The future and the past are the same with energy and time, because as we have said, time is a man-made process, but energy is eternal. So it is the same this moment as the next, as the last, but it's changed. So energy stays the same, but it's affected by other energies. And that's how it changes. It links in with other energies and becomes something different. Even the past is no longer the way it was when it happened that moment, because it has now linked with other pasts. Same for the future. That's why it's all unpredictable except this moment. So in that way, you are correct. You are correct in knowing you only have one moment in time, but you really don't have a moment. You have a millisecond, for it changes a millisecond later. This is a word we've just gotten from you. Thanks to your energetic exchange, now we're becoming this particular kind of human being that knows this word. So now, has this been more confusing for you, or is this something understandable to you?
No, it's actually made a lot of help in me trying to envision that. So as you're speaking, I'm envisioning this river as like a river of water. If you imagined the energy of the universe being synonymous to the water, you could put a stick in a river and the stick would experience a piece of that energy for the moment, but the energy would pass on and become something different as the water passes the stick and is influenced by the rocks and whatever else downstream, right?
Yes. So there you are.
Very good. Thank you. I'll have to think about that and how that, I guess I think about, well, how is past life traveling back in time possible to have an experience? You would think that if that energy has been changed by other interactions at a later time, that you couldn't have a true experience of something in the past if you went to it.
Right. Because what if the others are traveling backwards through time, the same time as you? That's how they're interwoven, you see. You only know yourself going back. You don't know how many more going back there with you. You see?
So
all of the time, every millisecond. We like this new word.
So the past is actually influenced by the future.
Yes, and the experience that's happening simultaneously, because you only know of the one you're having. You don't know that there are others having it at the same moment, the same past information, it's happening side by side by side. It could be happening side by side, you don't know. That's the influence of going back. And if you go back again, could be changed. And go back again, it changed again, changed and changed and changed. Every time you go back, it's changed, influenced and different.
So that's very interesting. It's very good to know that then when somebody has an experience or recalls something from a past life, that might not have been true. It was only true for that instance.
Yes, only true it was true for that in millisecond.
That millisecond, yes.
That's when it was true. But it might not be true right now, not this millisecond after or before that.
So when they go back energetically, are they experiencing the energy or are they experiencing a memory?
It is energy, because energy and memory are the same. Now, what we mean is that as you have a thought, invention right now, this conversation now has become energy. So now in a future time or past time, someone can pluck it out of the air and have a little look at it. So right now, this discussion is already energy, thought, memory. It's gone into a little bubble and it's accessible for anyone, anytime.
But I guess I'm implying by that question, energy could be changed, but a memory couldn't be. So a memory would be static as something that you would remember as happened to you personally, just like I'm thinking now of the Akashic records that one of our fellow people are interested in here, where you're going back and looking at a record of something that's happened. Yeah. Well, that record would be completely nullified if it's just going back for that instance, right? If you, like I said, you could go back and look at it a day later and it could all be completely different. So it's not then a true record in that sense. It's just whatever is interacting and coming forward at that particular time. So it makes it less relevant as something that you can learn from as an experience and say, I experienced this, because it might not be true at all.
Yes, but there's one more important reason for all of that whatever you call all this business of looking back and forth and all around. It means the human is curious. The human's wondering, what else is going on in the universe? That's the important part. It doesn't matter if you find this or don't believe it or whatever. It means you're opening up. It means you're open to potential and surprises and magic. That's what that means. So it doesn't really matter what you find, where it is, or anything, or it changes every minute. It matters that you yourself have become more than you were the moment before. You become more spiritual and less human. Just by the idea that there's these records in outer space, just by that very notion or possibility, you become more. That's truly the important part, not really what you find or where you find it. That just takes you along further down the road. Come on, let's try something else. Okay, fine, let's try something else and something else and something else. So all the time you're traveling this spiritually curious road, you're no longer spending time in living a human life and making human decisions. Now you're being led along some curious path. You don't know where you're going, but you're willingly going there instead. So you choose one over the other. Most of the time, you're choosing spiritual over physical. And when you're investigating these matters that you refer to, you're on the spiritual path, the spiritual interest or intrigue. That's truly the point of it.
Absolutely. And that's the greatest learning. It's wonderful. Thank you.
Let's just do namaste.
Absolutely.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, and for indulging me, everyone, on that long question.
We have with us we are going to call you a prayer singer, for you are sitting in prayer, which you consider musical words, we would say, but it's truly a prayer for the greater good of mankind. Do you understand that as you sit with this murmuring noise, that you are praying for the benefit of mankind?
Yes.
So what is it you wish to say to mankind? What is this prayer? Are you able to say it in words that the others can understand, that you have been, we use this word because it's a word familiar to you. We don't like it ourselves, but this is truly prayer that you are doing because it's repetition of the same movements, energy over and over and over. And this is what is considered prayer by humans. Repetition, repetition, repetition. So are you able to share with the humans what your prayer for mankind is?
My prayer for mankind is peace, love, and joy.
And over you say it. You say it, you say it, you say it. It becomes a mantra. And it becomes part of you, and it travels around with you energetically. It's important for you to know that it can be noticed. So humans that come into your space understand, they don't know the words precisely, but they know there's something happening here. That this human is bringing me into a sense of prayer, divinity, wonder. You are encapsulating them in something they're not aware of, but they are willing to go there because it reminds them of their home. You are a reminder of their home. And that's why you're familiar, and that's why humans are drawn to you. For some reason, they don't know why, but there's something magnetic about your calling. You're calling to them with these words over and over. You call them forth, your brothers and sisters in love, to remind them of home. This is a divine mission that you have taken on during your human time, and it does not go unnoticed.
Great. So I have a little question too to follow up on the other discussions a little. So I'm just going to say something to Ash, that Ash, I always sort of say that the river is always changing. You put your hand in the river, it's always going to be a different river, but it's also actually a different hand that goes in each time you place it in the river. So you were speaking of the spiritual path and of the divine path, I'll call it, the spiritual path and the human path not being able to blend. Yet my understanding is, as we embody our spiritual nature, we are combining both the human and the spiritual path to create a new path of love, peace, and joy.
Yeah.
And so I would like your comment to that.
Yes, this is not done by most humans. This is a very difficult endeavor of it, not for you. You have figured it out how to live this way. Most humans must choose. This moment I will be human. This moment I will be physical. This moment I'll be human. This moment I'll be physical. You have been playing with this notion because you understand there's a part of you that's capable of intertwining the two. And because you know that, you're capable of it, just as the question knows the answer. So you, by this question, which is not a question at all, this is a sharing, an energetic exchange for others. You wish them to know that you have figured out a way to become both and survive around as a human being, but you don't act like a regular human being. You are more spiritual than physical. You understand this part?
Yes.
You
yes.
believe this part. All right, fine. So as you present yourself, they see the spiritual part of you first. Then they wonder, do they live as a human life too? And do they eat food and pay bills? That's secondary. So you have flipped this part of you where you present your spiritual self first as if it's a mission for you, for others. It's a mission to present this first so they will know that humans are capable of it. But most have not even thought of this. It's not even crossed their mind that they can interweave the spiritual and physical life together, because it's difficult, because you must give up certain spiritual understandings, notions, words, ideas. You have to be so flexible as a human being. It's uncomfortable for many. Humans are used to being humans. They look a certain way, they talk a certain way, the other people around them talk. It's easy. Look, we're humans. You are sort of a melding. We don't know what this word would be. You are melding of two together, where most are choosing one and the other and one and the other, and spending as much time as they can in their spiritual selves, of course, because once you know that you're more, you can't forget it. This you know already. But for others, they come to understand, much as the earlier human questioned, there's something wrong with that idea. As soon as you think that, oh, there's something wrong there, you become more spiritual and less human. Each step like this, but then you must step back because you have to pay the bills and eat a carrot. And then you're back to my body. Oh, but there's something else that doesn't seem right either. There you go, up and down like this. So as much as you present this, there are very few humans who are capable of this. Now, for you in particular, you have set a certain mission forth to be an example to mankind. And most humans do not want to be examples. They prefer to stay back and blend in with everyone else. So you have not only stepped into yourself and your understanding of becoming two, you've also decided to be a leader in this way. So you are a spiritual leader. You've stepped out of your comfort zone. The rest are going to stand back and watch you. You understand that most of them will not be joining you. You will be presenting yourself, such as a lighthouse, perhaps, something that stands out where the others stay back. Do you understand this?
Yes.
And you embrace that. So that's who you are. That's who you've become through your life process. You were that in the very beginning, but you had to get through some strife and difficult, weird human experiences before you could remember, oh, I forgot I'm divine and I'm supposed to be a leader. Now I will be that because I've had enough fooling around in the human. But you all need some fooling around in the human. That's what you're doing there. That's why you have a body. Otherwise, you'd just be floating around whispering in the ears of others. But since you have a body, you wanted to have some strife. And now you decided you want to be a physical, spiritual leader who looks like a human but isn't. Even though you will be isolated, standing alone, and the rest will be standing watching you. That's enough for you. You've come to a place in your life to accept this play, to accept this calling. You might call it a calling. It's not very precise, but you've stepped into who you truly are and you've embraced it and you seem quite contented to be it, no matter what the consequences. And this is a true example of what what can happen if humans uncover it inside themselves. You've uncovered it. It's not something you never had and you went to find it. It's you have uncovered it inside of you. And that's what you are certainly an example of. How's that sound?
Sounds great. Thank you. And thank you for the clarification about most people having to make choices on the two different paths, because I'm actually not aware of that.
Yes. Are you willing to sing your notes of prayer? They are the same. You understand these notes of singing are the same words that you used earlier, but they're in a different form. They're an energy.
Yes, and I think they're in a form that for a lot of people, it means they don't have to engage their brain.
Yes.
So that it bypasses their brain and the energy just enters.
Yes.
So it's with no understanding, they can't make anything up out of it.
Yes, but it is the same message. It is
Yes.
about, yes.
Yes.
Would you like to share that with others who are not here? They're in outer space? Not really.
Sure.
Said that. They're on the earth somewhere.
Akamare karuni kushninya karakakala karkuni kishkinyanya. Alahura maya ruyala rehu. Ararara hoya mahiha hureala rea ho. Aya la reala male o hareala rea. Aya uya rea ho Maria reuya. Haskiama kahoni wujminya hanya shushime fiani karikiriko chuchinya. Peace, love, and joy to all.
This completes our energetic exchange together. There's nothing more that needs to happen now. You're out, ma'am. You're out.